Namaste. Myself, Dr. Soumya Ponnanwar. I'm a chief consultant at Diabetes Reversal Clinic, Bali. I'm over here today to talk on a topic. Diabetes reversal is a myth or fact. So, many of the patients who is talking about or researching about diabetes, they initially try to understand why did they got diabetes and in how to manage it and how to control the sugar levels. And on the later stages, they launch, added to a complete research on once the medications for diabetes. Then the most asked question in Google is like, is diabetes curable? I see patients asking that, any disease, they feel like, Google is very much, I would say, accessible and affordable to every person on earth nowadays. In the most remote village, also the person knows, like, if he don't know what to do, there are funny things happening since the Google has been really developed up to the tech, the internet has been gone to that status. Everybody feels that they can get an answer for everything. And I would say they don't even check into any constitutional laws or the rules. They just say, I can check in Google. And if Google shows you something and it is, it's like more than 100% belief or more than a genuinity, or the people feel service, that Google answers are so genuine. Once that says, if Google thinks it is curable, then people are running to believe it is curable. If Google says it's not curable, then people would argue that it's not curable. So, anyways, coming to the topic, diabetes reversal is a myth of fact. It is, I would say, it is a fact if you understand reversal procedure, how it is done, and what are the results you can expect with it. It would require a moment if you really just give a try, let's say for 15 days or a month, and you really won't obtain what you want or what you have gazed for, then definitely it's a myth. So let me just come to the diabetes uh, types which all are reversible. Then I'll be able to talk upon the reversals, facts, and the myths, whatever the people are believing in. So the first thing is type 1 diabetics. Most of the patients will be knowing that, in which the insulin generation in the body, if insulin is not manufacturing at all in your pancreas, then yes, then it's very clear that you have to find a substitution or a replacement therapy to have to start taking the insulin itself, hormone, directly to your body. So I believe we're able to say that it's reversible. So recently they have also come out with another one that is a LBDE, what they call it as. So that is like related autoimmune diabetes. That I would say that is also, it is being categorized under type 1 diabetes, and they speak about the genetic diabetes, which is there in your genes. That is also most of the time converts with the uh, type 1 diabetes. The severity or theoretical diabetes also comes under type 1 variable. The type diabetes, here there is no insulin production of all in your body, then it is definitely not reversible. But the complications of the diabetes, which is that is type 2 or type 1, the symptoms and the complications always remains the same. If that is the case in type 1 diabetes, the complications can definitely be prevented, or they could be we can also make sure the insulin requirement for the body can be taken care. But yes, that will be reversible. So coming to our reversible concept. So which type can be reversible? So what we call it is type 2. That is where there is your sons are not able to utilize that particular insulin. That is called like insulin resistance. That is when you are having a food, the carbohydrates, which your body has to convert that into an energy. Then who is the major catalyst over that? Is insulin. So that insulin is not being utilized properly, or it is that efficiently it is not being used by your body cells. So the body cells are resisting to it. then it is type 2 diabetes, and which we say it is reversible. So let's see what exactly we do when it is reversible. So what exactly the word reversible? So you would have heard well, the reverse word most of the time when you were in a thought or put the reverse gear have taken. So most of the time we say put the reverse gear. So what do when we say reverse? So we are starting at the point A and we have gone to the point B. So I would go back to A. So what would I do? I have a gaining my thought. I just stop and then just go back to point B. Exactly. So I was, or my body was able to take it. There was no resistance of the insulin. Insulin resistance was not there in my body when I was at the point A. Now when I come to point B, my resistance has increased. So is there any reverse gear which I can use it so that I go back to point E? That is, the resistance is lower. Okay, yes, it is. So that gearbox, let me see what all that exactly contains. So how did you develop this diabetes? So is that only your sugar level started shooting up, or did you start with the symptoms, or kind of a hunger, or you had any other underlying trauma, or a really bad stress? So you have to first make sure what all has caused these things to you. So how did I started with it? If it is only a kind, let's say in Ayurveda, we also have a dinachari or Ruticharya also. So what you have to do according to the season. So in that, our acharyas mentions everything like what you have to eat, what is good in about whole season, what is like there are preparations we call it as a yusha or let's say a kanji, the four-inch kind, the fluid of the completely the layer of the rice, what we have cooked and we feed to that. So there are many kind of preparation. We also have a non-veg like Mansa Yusha. So those are all which we have boiled in Mainskini. So that has to be given in that particular season because the appetite would be more in winters or rainy season. The appetite will be less in summer. So we have to have whole things or easily digestible things in summer. So we have a complete routine listed. So why that was be decided? So when I used to study and we used to wonder why the Samhitas has to speak about what to eat, what not to eat. It is like that is to make sure that is what is the main slogan when we speak about health. So it is like Ayurveda is what Vastastis Vastaravashana. So we have to make sure that health whatever is there already should be maintained health. Atanasya Roga Prashanam. So the one who have be already suffering from a disease for them also there is a complete literature, the disease, the roga, the lakshana, and the treatment for that is also being described in the meanwhile to maintain that health of a healthy person what to do. So let's say, doctor, if I do all these particular things, whatever you're speaking about, it is definitely not practically possible in the era or the metro city or the lifestyle we live in. Exactly. So why would a person describe something randomly if it was not very practically possible? See, since let's say, but 4,500 years back also, whenever the human beings were alive, so they were doing the same thing. But then also there was a day, there was a night. People used to sleep at night, work at day. Then you please do that. Why are you working at night? Why are you awake at night? That is a simple question. At least this portion it is not for the healthy person or not diabetic patients. This portion is very much valid for the diabetic patients. So while were they mentioning about the dinacharya, daily routine, all these things were especially mentioning so that you will not get any metabolic disease, you will not get a lifestyle disease like diabetes. So that is the first thing to understand is I've talking about the complete prevention is possible. So I think is I have spoken at the video about the diabetes prevention. So coming to the reversal. So once I have got this, how would let's see what are the causative factors which is mentioned in Ayurveda is like we speak about dosha part of the ahara vikhara. So whichever increases that particular dosha, we consider kapha dosha in diabetes, majorly type 2 diabetes. So that I have indulged myself in that particular, or I have exposed myself in that particular lifestyle, the food, or would be the my habits where that particular dosha may increase. And what the Agni the metabolism, the digestion has reduced. So my insulin metabolism I have reduced by doing those two things. There is an armor within my body. There is been a like let's say toxins or undigested. Why the digestion is not happy? That would lead to a disease. This is a basic thing for any disease, not only a diabetes, but I could create the kapha majorly as that is the main dosha we form as kapha as a type 2 diabetes. So what exactly I rather speak about is there is something called Annamaya Kosha. So where whatever the food you take, so but you can consider these are as the shrotas or the layers of your body. I would say that is the nearest word I could explain in the modern language a patient would understand. Let's say Annamaya Kosha, there's a Pranamaya Kosha that is especially for your breath, the oxygen, the circulation that is related to. Manomaya Kosha, what we call it, that is your mental space, the emotion, the anxiety, the depression, whatever you talk about. We we also speak about Vijnanamaya Kosha, that's your intellectual capacity. So how much your brain energy is being used, especially when meeting serious. Some people say like, doctor, I just sit in front of a computer and I never understood what was that I have really overused my energy. Yes, there are people who overuse your brain. Then yes, and Anand, that is like Anandamaya Upanishad. That is something which is related to your spiritual and there is like how to manage the life. So there are people who believe something, but I'm not saying like it's not mandatory for everyone. So these are the basic things which has been explained in Ayurveda. So if you're able to approach a disease with all these things, then the reversal is possible. So let's be specific to diabetes and the reversal. That the reversal starts. The main thing is what you eat is what you are. So until and unless, let's imagine you go back to 10 years where you were at the point to be, what all you used to eat. You will definitely have a differentiation. The diabetes you started, you make yourself a checklist. What you used to eat, what are you eating now? And what was your time of bed, and what time you're sleeping to be? And what were your activities? Let's say it's school, in college, and on the might be a whatever player, you might be a football player, you might be a badminton player. And it's been how many years where you stopped it. And you also imagine yourself, or compare yourself, how many hours you're sitting in the same place, how much is your movements, how much you're able to get up and walk around. So when you start making sure that, yes, these are all the differences, all the changes I have started, then you will be able to understand what is that difference between point A and point B your will. So just start correcting those points majorly. Before you approach your any doctor also, you can start correcting that. But if you've already reached your facial stages, then yeah, reversal would be on. What we have to think on, like how does it go? But is it all if you have not reached your own? So you have just diagnosed or you're in a pre-diabetic stage, that this is more than enough for yourself to understand your body with the reversal as possible. So if you ask me as a Ayurveda doctor, who asks, like many patients ask it when they come down to all these, if I want to was my diabetes, I'll just ask them, let me just see whether it is possible. Wait, we just have your history first. So first is I get to know the symptoms. Are they on insulin? Are they not on insulin? And what about the medications they are on? Are they on paid metformin? Are they with a combination of the prep? Are they already started with any BP medications? Are they on any blood thinners? Are they on ecosprin or any cardiac protective things? Are they on any cholesterol medications? So these all comes under consideration. Just don't I will claim like we can't do it in magic. We don't have any magic feel just be, but This all just go aside when it doesn't happen as neatly. And if you are above 60 years, then also reversal is a good thing. But if you have uncontrolled or if you build a works that can be managed, I'm not saying one your insulin can be reduced if you're 60 plus. But if you're below 60 and you have really not started with any renal function issues, major, if your kidney has been still not being affected, then the reversal is definitely possible. I've always seen there are three pillars to reversal: diet, exercise, medication. In this, the reversal will be sustained only with the two pillars, that is diet and exercise. See, what exactly I do is first I'd study your body and understand and start with a basic diet with the medications along with few external therapies also if it is required. That varies from person to person. We won't go to every patient or therapist. But yes, there will be a very strict diet and exercises maintained. And along with your, if you are already taking it out of it, and so along with that, then you can add the medicine added. So once we see how you are responding, it will keep you under follow every 50 days once. And once, if your blood pressure level starts falling down, your doctor yourself would ask you to reduce the medication. So there will be a stage where your body has accepted that the next step comes to it is to make sure your medicines can be stopped. So, doctor, what next? Oh, with the Ayurveda medications, we also gradually get your paper and stop the Ayurveda medication. So, what is left with you for lifetime to make sure once I make you reach back to your point A and your sugar levels are absolutely normal, the bar medication, your insulin resistance is doing good, then it is up to you and how long to stay in that point. And what all you can do is diet and exercises. This should be like how you have a food every day, how you sleep every day, how is your bowel movement. If you're able to give time for those things, then you have to give time for this also. So diet and exercise will be a part of your life. So the people who understands this, the complete phenomenon behind it, then yes, reversal is definitely a fact, provided you know the procedure of the phenomena behind it. I won't say reversal is possible in every patient of diabetes. It is definitely possible at least 60 to 70% of the Indian diabetic patients. So this is all about diabetes. Reversal is a method fact, and I have also, I think I have covered about almost how the reversal we do over here. And the review one, I have already done one more shorter video on what exactly that is reversal treatment of what we give that program, or run it includes what is the duration. You can watch on that video. Thank you.